Hey everyone, Dr. Stacy Willie here with Complete Balance Chiropractic, a Wellness Way affiliate in Rock Island, Illinois. And today, let's talk about endometriosis. I want to talk today about what endometriosis is, some of the symptoms, what you can do about it through testing, or what you need to know about it through testing, and why it's not genetic, as opposed to what a popular commercial is now telling us all. So before I forget, I want you to if you want to, you can share, tag a friend. If you have any questions, let me know at the bottom. So let's get started. So endometriosis, what that is, it's a proliferation. So it's an increase in cells. There's something called an endometrial lining inside a woman's uterus, and that's one of the things that can get shed out. And what happens is that actually proliferates and grows outside of the uterus, which is not common. It's not normal. It's nothing that should be done. And that can actually attach to other organs. It can create a lot of havoc, and it can create a lot of pain. It's not supposed to be there. So 1 out of 10 women actually experience the problems with endometriosis. And some women don't even know that they have it. They just are suffering with these symptoms. So we're going to talk about those symptoms too. But it's a lot of scar tissue, and we need to really find out why, because this can lead to infertility, which is extremely important to most women, and cancer, which is important to everybody, because why? Infertility is going up, and so is cancer. And from what I've been reading, endometriosis is too. Some of these symptoms that are accompanied with endometriosis, a woman can have pain either all the time, pretty consistently, increase during her period, during intercourse, during her period if she has a bowel movement or urination, that can cause some pain. Infertility, an increase in bleeding, fatigue, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, nausea. Guess what that's sounding like? A lot of PMS problems. When women have PMS symptoms, that can be it. So that might be one of the kind of the signs of endometriosis. So what can be done about it? Well, there's a lot of different things, but how do we know, and how can we find it? So one of the things I think is really important is through testing. Testing is so important, folks. Ladies, you just need thorough testing. Your hormones are running rampant. This is actually caused by inflammation. Doctors these days are now agreeing that inflammation is the cause of most diseases. And this is not one that's immune to that problem. We have to find out why, because it's not just all of a sudden, boop, your uterus has decided to start, the endometrial lining just started to travel somewhere else. There is something going on, and most likely a hormone that's supposed to be building tissue just keeps getting that message to build and build and build instead of build like it's supposed to and then stop. So you need to have your hormones properly tested during the proper time of your cycle so you can have a good overall picture of not just what the problem is, but what to do about it, because we have one of the finest tests possible. It's called the Dutch test, and that tells us what the problem is, and Wellness Way doctors, and there's Wellness Way doctors all around the country, we know what to do about that. But we need to find out why. You need to find out the triggers so you can take care of it. Because if you don't take care of the source or the reason, it's just going to keep popping back up. There's a lot of women that are going through this problem. They get multiple surgeries. They get hysterectomies way too early, as in, their 20s, early 20s, and they're still having these surgeries. They're still in pain, and they're still miserable. That is so unfair. And unfortunately, this isn't rocket science. We need to get, they need to get the proper testing. And apparently it's, not happening for them. So I just really wish that that would be happening for them. So if you know of anybody that has endometriosis and they're not getting answers as to why it keeps happening and they're not getting any relief, message me. I can help you find a Wellness Way doctor around the country. I can help you anything. Make sure I go through my list, because remember, I got to keep on track. So the genetic aspect I want to discuss. There's a commercial that talks about how endometriosis is genetic. And your mom had it, your sisters have it, your aunt has it, all these things. No, not really, because there is no specific gene that I have done through my research that it is. This is a company that wants to obviously sell their pill, but they're actually taking the control out of your hands, because if they claim it's genetic, well, then you have no control over it. But even if it is genetic, there's no drug out there that is going to solve that problem. You have to take care of the inflammation and the reason why. Our bodies are not genetically programmed for disease. If they were, we'd all be dead. So you have to really keep that in your mind as to how genetics are. And yes, I know there's some people born with genetic diseases, and that's not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about diseases that happen over time, and then they decide it's genetic, and then it's out of my hands. How these things happen in families is that families usually have the same habits and the same environment that's in common. It's not the same exact, but the same overall. The high stress levels, they are in toxic environments, they use a lot of plastics. There's a lot of things that can happen. And in future videos, I am going to talk about some things that you may not know about that increase your estrogens in your body, which also increases proliferation. So you have to be very careful. And lastly, why am I talking about this? Because you're miserable. Ladies, it's a debilitating disease. Periods can suck. And it's not that, when they had that commercial with the pads about someone wanting to have a happy period, and I would hear that and I just want to punch whoever in the face that came up with that slogan, but obviously it's stuck. But periods should not be miserable. It should just kind of be like, there it is. Hey, Michelle. It's very painful. There's women that are told they can't have babies, and that's just devastating in its own right. They get hysterectomies early, so they don't even get to help try to solve the problem, because now they definitely can't have a baby. So I just want to find out why, and I want other women to learn and know that there could be solutions, but you have to really look for the answers and try to avoid those surgeries, avoid all the scrapings to me that sounds like torture. I just had a few things happen to me in my life that, felt like torture, but I just want to help as many women as I can. So if you have any questions, just put them down at the bottom. If you like this, please do share with your friends, because ladies, we are a tribe and we need to help each other out, and everybody deserves to have a baby. So let's get it on out there. All right. And tag somebody. You guys have a great Thursday. Bye.